All right, we're here to get into some NFL best ball, some of the pre-draft best ball. Combine, obviously some stuff happened. Take it with a grain of salt. There's some massive risers at ADP, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to change their draft stock exponentially. So I've already maxed the little board. I can show you what that looks like from an exposure perspective. Right now in the 20 drafts, I had 45% Mike Washington, so 9 of the 20 at around pick 200 to 230, so around 1920. Obviously, now that's a value. Feeling great about that. Jonah Coleman, obviously not going to change. David Njoku, free agent. Upside of talent, wealth of talent. Perennial top 12 tight end going at the 180s. Rashad White, again, another free agent that goes at 160. I like that value. Denzel Boston, people hit or miss on him. Feels like a good X receiver. Another free agent. Could flop. He might not even play this year, but if he does, we bet on upside here. We got to be one out of, in Best Ball Mania, 16 million, and this probably million, whatever it's going to be. So we have to aim for that upside. Fryermuth, I like. Jonnu Smith's probably gone. Darnell Washington is a dog, but he's also a role player of sorts. New head coach, offensive coach. We'll see what they do with the impending draft, but it feels like it'll be offensive. So we'll figure out there. Jacobs at 27, massively underrated, it feels like. Just as always, top 6 RB. Damn near, at least. And then we go from here. And some of these guys I have less conviction on. DK Metcalf I got more conviction on because he's going to pick, 65, 70. Kyler Murray, 130. He's going to be somewhere, and he's going to be running around. We know that. But that's the exposures. We're going to get into a big board today. And we're going to see what this draft did, or what the combine did, because I haven't drafted since the combine. Now we just wait for the fill. This could take forever. We could talk about strategy in the meantime, and I'll probably be an advocate of this and harp on this multiple times over the next few videos that I make. But understanding how to balance a team and what's going to work well is going to be hyper important. So there's a blueprint for the first 6 rounds. You can obviously have your own individual guys. That's going to be very, very important on if your guys hit. But a way to mitigate some of that risk is making sure that you got the balanced roster. So through the 6 rounds of the blueprint is generally, can I get 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs at least? Can I have at least that much of those? So we're going to have to somewhere either forego a tight end or a quarterback, potentially both. And it's not true every time. If you get insane values, right, take those. That's a unique build. That's valuable. But in general, can I make sure that team is balanced? So I've got my starting, it's making up, the running backs and receivers are making up 70, 80% of the best ball roster generally. Your tight end could flex if you've got 2 of them, but it's going to be a total of 6 wide receivers and RBs usually, and 1 QB, 1 tight end. So the 75% of those guys is going to be way more valuable. So can I make sure I've got the starters, so I've got depth going forward, and then through round 10, I like to go 5 wide receivers and at least 3 running backs, maybe 4 running backs, but you can get away with 4 wide receivers. And then if you want to build from there, more tight ends, taking a higher tight end. There are some values here. I like to go late tight end, but that's really the blueprint. Can I stay balanced with specifically my wide receivers and RBs heading into round 10, and then from there I can take values. It allows me to take any value that falls and gives me a lot more flexibility through the rest, which I like and does create a lot of balance. All right, this filled. Where am I? 8. I'm also not accustomed. I always draft on the phone, so I'm not accustomed to the computer drafting, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I feel like I got more information at my fingertips, but that could just be food for thought. All right, all these guys have red shields, so obviously very, very strong history and experience. If I can't lie, I'm not only an underdog truther. I am an underdog truther, but I also like the DraftKings best ball. Their UX isn't quite as nice, but sometimes there's values there that aren't here and vice versa. So it helps me balance some of my exposures. I would have the red shield if I had only drafted on Underdog with all the drafts I've done on DraftKings as well. Unsurprising. Jahmyr Gibbs going 1-1. Oh. I'm hoping for Christian McCaffrey. That is a far cry wish. But to me, he's should be rated at 4 or 5 instead of... Oh, wait, this could happen. Oh, wait, no, it's probably not happening. I have a lot of CD love in my heart, but this is the spot where I think there's a tier break, and I think Amon-Ra is more valuable and consistent right now. And there's a bigger route. We know they score points. Obviously, we know Dallas scores points, but the Lions are the Lions. And, you know, he's just proven the consistency. Laporta, Jameson Williams, we know that only one of them is going to take away, not both of them are going to take away. And they're not going to take that much. Genty going at 9 is interesting. I wonder if they're just like, hey, I know that these guys are taking some O-linemen, signing them, drafting them. We know they're getting a QB, but like before they do it, even after they do it, you have to make an exponentially bigger upgrade than what there was there. Omarion at 12? I'm probably not getting any values, but this is interesting. McBride at 13 is crazy. James Cook is such a steal. Yeah, good for that guy. Good for that guy. Who does he have? James Cook and CD. That seems uncommon and very good. I'm going to go Saquon. I think Saquon is probably more valuable, depending on landing spot, than Jordan Love, Trey McBride, Hampton, Jefferson, not Lamb. That's probably where it stops. That is where it stops. Chase Brown at 18. All right, so from here, we're pretty flexible right now. Obviously, 2 picks in, there's always going to be flexibility. But I don't feel forced one way or another. I'm taking still best player available. And sometimes that's how it falls. Not always. Not always, though. Sometimes I get angry. And other times I'm elated. Everything here has been pretty far par for the course in the last 3 or 4. That's a little early. And there's a lot of QB values late. Rounds 8, 7 through 8. But it is Josh Allen. He's probably still that valuable, but... All right, so I'm assuming Josh Jacobs goes, who's the only guy that I think I really, really want in this range as far as a running back. Yeah, and there he's gone. So now I'm probably looking at A.J. Brown or Rashee. Those are the guys I really want now. Brees to the Jets makes me sad. He's not this valuable anymore. And I have him in Dynasty, big Dynasty league, so that's sad. We're going Rashee. And we do want 3 wide receivers and 2 running backs. So we do want more wide receivers than running backs. So getting them here feels good. We've got allegedly, pretty elite offenses. but we can see how fast that changes. Hopefully Eagles get an O-line back. Pat comes back swiftly, healthily. Maybe the league doesn't want that, but that would be sick for this. Our Bs continue to go. Right now, I'm probably looking at Javonte Williams. Zay Flowers is kind of up there. Jameson, I feel like, is overpriced every year. So I almost never take Jameson, but best ball is where he would hit. But I'll probably go Javonte. When's my next pick? 56. Who's down to 56? I could go Zay because I don't like any of the receivers in this range. That much. I could bet on a rookie. Rome is probably not this valuable. It seems like he's getting usurped. It seems like it's going to be a committee out there. Oh, I got Zay Flowers. I should have been paying attention because I probably would have gone Javonte Williams, who's now gone. But Zay Flowers is fine. That opens up the door for me to get Lamar, which I would honestly be thrilled with. Like, guys like Terry McLaurin's so hit or miss. It feels very hard with all the red flags to bet on him at 45. Devonta's ceiling, it's like such a tier separation. His ceiling's just not quite there. I mean, unless A.J. Brown leaves. Oh, who took Lamar? This guy doesn't even have Derrick Henry. Just said, I want to do it. Love of the game. That's heartbreaking. But this is an example where it feels good because they've got a good player at every position. But we'll see what the depth is. We'll come back to who is this. ANTHGN. We'll come back to this at the end and see what his receivers, what his running backs actually look like. But speaking of what running backs actually look like, I need to see who's going to be available. Right now, Travion would probably be my preferred pick. If not him, then probably Swift. Then I'm at 65. I could probably take DK Metcalf at 65. So I think I will go Swift. Yeah. I just have a lot more conviction in Ben Johnson, in the Chicago Bears, in their offense. And I know that at least I'm pretty confident, he'll have a role. Then in Cam Skattebo and Quinshon Judkins, who are both coming back from injuries on, let's be kind and say, mid-offenses. So, feeling a little bit weak at running back. So we're going to have to make up for that. Not detrimentally weak. Comfortable at wide receiver. I have no stacks available right now. I think I would go Drake May over DK Metcalf. And then look for like a Hunter Henry, maybe Steph Diggs. I just think he's got to be so much more valuable than every other player. I guess I could go Cam Skattebo. Has there been any news on him? Why is he falling so far? Targeting start of OTAs. So if he makes it to me, I will take him over Drake May. And he did. I don't know if he's been a consistent faller like this or if this is unique. I haven't heard any news. But if I want to have something unique, I mean, I'm getting a guy at 48 at 65. I wish I had more context. It makes me want to look up if there's any scam. I hope he's not a scam. Any Cam Skattebo news. But I will say this is my only share of Cam Skattebo in my 21st draft. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's holding him back now, so 17 picks past ADP. That's fine. I wonder what is if you like not I'm not like anti Cam Skattebo, but like if you have an extremely staunch stance against a player, how many picks past their ADP? And obviously it's contextual, but like how many picks past ADP do you think they'd have to be for you to take them? What is the number? Also, other news. Trent McDuffie traded today for like 4 picks, 3 of them this year, 1 a first, 29. I feel like that's very on brand for both the Chiefs and the Rams. The Rams trade their first every year. The Chiefs trade away their all-pro players every year. Bro, if Drake May is still here, he's not going to be here. I'm not going to get my hopes up. So who would I want now? Still don't really have any stacks. I could go Jackson Dart. I feel a lot better about Justin Herbert and Trevor Lawrence, honestly. But this guy's running around. He's a giant. What if John Harbaugh's good? Their O-line wasn't terrible. They're coming back if they sign him. And he's gone. All right. I guess I could go Justin Herbert. Or I could try to get Trevor Lawrence and then hope that Jacoby Myers falls. Oh, shoot, it's me. Nah, it's Mike McDaniel. It's Mike McDaniel. Justin Herbert's really good. He has a good cast. Is it better than Trevor Lawrence's? Maybe, debatable, but the offense feels like it will. It's hard to bet against Liam Cohen, but it's also hard to bet against Mike McDaniel, Omarion Hampton, Justin Herbert, Ladd McConkey, Oronde Gadsden. You can throw QJ in there. I've taken a lot of them, but Prescott Mahomes team. Interesting. I should be on this view more. Oh, do I get Quentin Johnston right here? It's between him and Tucker Kraft. I don't particularly like getting people coming back from injury. I think Tucker Kraft still projects to be a beast, though. So it's rough, but for stacking purposes and also I want to have 5 receivers by round 10. We're going QJ. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Can I expand this? Oh, no, that's not right. All right, so let's look at the balance of some of these. So this guy has Jahmyr Gibbs, George Pickens, Luther Burden. So this guy has George Pickens and Luther Burden as his only 2 receivers. And who's available? He could get Michael Pittman or DJ Moore. Maybe, if they make it to him as his 3rd. Maybe Steph Diggs is his 3rd. Like, these are not guys that you trust. Like he has to hit. He's got to get lucky and hit. If he doesn't get lucky and hit, his wide receiver room is in shambles, and that's only for 3. On the bye weeks, he's going to be decimated. Flex spot, he's going to be decimated. He only has Jahmyr Gibbs and Kyle Monangai. Like, is it worth having Josh Allen, Colston Loveland, and Caleb Williams when you're only going to be able to start 2 of these guys? And now all these flex spots, and he went DJ Moore. Like, that doesn't feel great. He's got a stack. He's got Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Kyle Monangai. Look at him go. So if all works out, it could be great. But that means Chicago has to be a number 1 offense without DJ Moore getting traded, or DJ Moore gets traded to a good spot. That means Kyle Monangai, who was falling off at the end of last season, has to surpass DeAndre Swift, who looked a hell of a lot better. So he's got Colston Loveland too. This is just pure Bears. But at what cost? Bears need to be number 1 offense, which is in the realm of possibilities. But is it the possibility? Maybe not. What am I looking for? Anything. What's available? So this is rough. I could get the Kansas City stack, although they could take a receiver in the draft. I could get Worthy and bet on that offense. I cannot. I didn't like Worthy that much anyway. Steph Diggs is speaking to me. Rico Dowdle's speaking to me. Jared Goff is right there. But I think I'm going Steph Diggs. I'm really not that confident in Steph Diggs. But I know that somehow, some way, he's going to be making like $27 million next year. So I know he should be in rotations getting used. It should be, if he stays with New England, an ascending offense. At least that's the hope. And more points, more touchdowns, gives more opportunity to him. Now I really have flexibility to do whatever I want to do. So if Jared Goff is somehow here, I'll take Jared Goff and go 2 QBs, sure him up, and then I'll start looking for a tight end shortly after. George Kittle is such a conundrum. To me, I mean, he's like obviously so elite, such a track record, but coming off an Achilles is not that easy. I could go around Gadsden. I should go around Gadsden. I don't really have any. I don't know if he's worth quite this value, but that seems like a nice stack. But I've got to curve this guy who has no tight ends. Now I feel like I should get him, unless this guy's on auto draft, which he could be. Yep, that's messed up. All right. Do I go another Denzel Boston? I think I do. All right, so now I'm set on receiver essentially. Now I can focus on everything else. I can take a value if it comes at receiver, but I'm looking primarily now at RB, quarterback, and tight end. So I'm not taking so many that I can't get any more wide receivers. If there's a crazy value, I'm probably looking to have 7 wide receivers, but this allows me the flexibility to not take more than 7. So now I can shore up my positions everywhere else. This should be a pretty good wide receiver room. Amon-Ra, Rasheed, Zay Flowers, QJ, Steph Diggs, Denzel Boston. Projected first-round pick, although, I mean, that could change. A lot of people take a lot of sway from the combine. I don't think NFL teams take sway from the combine as much. At least that's what I'm banking on. Man, do I get George Kittle? Kenyon Sadiq might be what I take here, even if George Kittle's available. Coming off an Achilles is just such a rough injury to come off of. Also, how does everybody feel about Matthew Golden? Oh, Sadiq goes. No. I might take George Kittle here. Oh. Okay, I got him in. Man, oh man, it does not feel great, but we are playing for weeks 15, 16, 17. So I'll try to take solace in that. Man, Malik Willis is going too. Okay, I really got to start looking QBs. I really got to start looking at some QBs. Who could I take? All the stacks are gone, which is fine. Who's available? Don't want to bet on too many guys coming off of injury. So I need... Man, oh man, QBs are going. I may end up taking 4 QBs. It's probably unlikely, but it's a possibility. I want to get CJ Stroud. I know he's getting starts. I want one of these two guys. Am I confident in either of them? Hell no. But I am confident that they're going to get starts. I am confident that they're either changing situations that are bad, so it could get worse, but it's very hard to, or they have a good cast around them. These guys know what the problems are that they face. J.K. Dobbins is another steal that I would be... Oh, man. I guess I am taking him, and then I'm hoping Cam Ward makes it back. All right, I'm praying Cam Ward makes it back. But J.K. Dobbins, he'll probably get injured. That's just what it is. But it depends on when he gets injured. If he's injured at the beginning of the season, he can give you 10 fantastic weeks at the end. If he gets injured at the end, he can give you 10 fantastic weeks at the beginning. This guy will be scoring points in some way, shape, or form. More than is guaranteed for Woody Marks with Dave Montgomery there, Trey Benson with James Conner there. They could take it back. Emmett Johnson, James Conner. I'm a lot more confident in J.K. Dobbins. All right, now please let me get Cam Ward. I maybe should have even reached for him. God, Mike Washington shot up. And God, Woody Marks has fallen like a rock. This guy was going at 118. Now we're to 150. Rachaad White's a good pick. I think Rachaad White is a lot closer to 110 in value than 160. Mike Washington, 150. Is this where he's ending up? I feel so good about my bag of him. All right, Cam Ward. It always feels good taking a Tennessee Titan on your team. Always feels good. I may take Woody Marks here. If he makes it back to me. Like, at some point, the fall is too much. Omar Cooper at 153. Wow, these guys are shooting up. I could go Mark Andrews. I'm not insanely high on Mark Andrews. I think this range is fine to take him. And I can pair him with Zay Flowers and say, hey, this offense is going to be good. But he's gone. So it's looking like Woody Marks. I wouldn't be mad at Tyjae Spears, actually. But this is such a fall. But he's going to stay there. He's going to stay there. So I may go Tyjae Spears, have a Tennessee connection with Cam Ward. I do think that Tyjae Spears would be mostly the receiving back, or he could usurp Tony Pollard. And if he's the receiving back, there's stacking opportunity there. And I need running backs. George Kittle just sitting there. My tight end position is manned by an Achilles warrior. But like I said, I enjoy going late tight end. So I got somebody with high upside early, Sean. Still after 10 rounds, pick 128, round 11. But now I can subsidize it with some of the guys farther down. Evan Ingram. As Stephen A. would say, this guy needs to get drug tested. What does his draft look like? All right, so Tet McMillan, Ricky Pearsall, Jawan Jennings is this guy's receiver room. Jalen Coker. These. The fear is not struck in my heart by this guy. He should have an all right tight end room. He should have an all right RB room, maybe, probably. This is a good start, but still, these guys could take somebody. These guys will probably bring somebody in, and a great QB room. But outside of that, wow. All right, so now this guy's trying to subsidize and get all his wide receivers now. So he went Debo, Brandon Ayuk, Tyreek Hill, who's dead, Jerry Jeudy, Calvin Ridley. I actually would have liked to get. Calvin Ridley's a pretty good pick. Brandon Ayuk could be a good pick. So these guys can try to subsidize, but he needs the old heads to revert back 4 years. That's what he needs from here, from here, from here, from here. And I don't know how likely that is to happen. Aaron Jones we're not taking. Isaiah Likely, maybe I take. He is a free agent, right? If he's a free agent, I actually don't want him quite as badly. And I could go Njoku. Or I could go DK. I don't really want to go DK. We're going to see if DK is still available later, and we're going to go Njoku. Actually, no. We'll go Isaiah Likely. What if he gets re-signed? I have enough Njoku. I don't have that much Likely. He has ties to the Ravens. Not saying he goes there. But if he does, and they drop a 40 ball, or they have a good offense all year. Intriguing. DK just does not feel worth it to get in general. Some of the mindset I have right now, so I still need another QB, another tight end, probably one or two more running backs, one more receiver. The issue is the receiver is going to be dust at this stage. Like, you could find maybe somebody. Maybe I go Tesla, and if Detroit's really good, he's cooking. Don't really want Trey Tucker. I know he can have moments, but like 80 Mitchell, maybe. Maybe. I would take Dylan Sampson over him, though, in like a heartbeat. I think Nick Singleton's a value. But I also still maybe want one of these guys. Probably this guy. I think I have a better RB room, especially with this injury, than tight end room. So I'm going to take Dalton Schultz. We're going to round out RBs with at least 2 of our last 3 picks. Oh, wait, I've got 4 picks left. At least 2 of our last 4 picks. What are we seeing? Does anybody strike you as having the best team? Not this guy, whose only QB is Fernando Mendoza. That is concerning for him. There's a lot of people that are just throwing money away because they do not have balanced approaches to drafts. Like nice Harold Fant, Naronde Gadsden, Terrence Ferguson, balanced tight end room, more or less. At least 2 RBs, at least 4 receivers through 6, at least 5 wide receivers, at least 3 RBs through 10. But man, where it goes from there, no QBs. This is probably too many QBs to take in a 7 through 9 range. That's wild. Like Justin Jefferson, Christian Watson, his only receivers. Romeo Doubs, Trey Harris, Trey Tucker. That doesn't feel good. That doesn't project well. All right, I could go Jacoby Brissett. How confident am I that he starts all year? He's not running around. One guy I actually like that I might take as a very last pick. Is he even on? Oh wait, I'm up. Well, I should be paying attention. I think I inevitably actually made the right decision, though. I made the right decision. I need a few more RBs. None of these receivers really matter. I might go this guy. I might. Chris Bell is gone, right? Chris Bell is not gone. So I'm going to get like such an easy 240 pick. Runs around, has always been good when he steps in. Much more confident he has a job than him. To be honest. Than him. Like, he's way too far down. All right, we're going Chris Bell. Darnell Mooney has not shown me enough. Let's bet on our rookie. It's a dart throw. He's probably not going to be anything. Is Darnell Mooney probably going to be anything? Is Jacoby Lane probably going to be anything? Is Cooper Kupp probably? Probably not. Probably not. All right, so the teams that could be good. This guy right here, Jack Metler. A little bit afraid of this guy. Not that worried here. He needs old heads to be great. He has Gibbs, Monungai, Krosky, Merritt, Ray Davis. There's a very real possibility he only has one actual starting running back by the time the season's there. Bucky, I think is overrated, but he's got guys that will be playing. I don't like how he drafted per se. I like these two. From there, he's coming kind of earlier than everyone. I like Laporta. He's got balance, though. This could be a scary team. This could be a scary team. This looks like a scary team. Yeah, that looks a little more fierce. This guy, we're not worried about. This guy is me. Very worried. This guy we're not worried about. Fernando Mendoza and Anthony Richardson. You know, I do respect at least he's taking an upside shot. So if everything works out, he might be okay. But, like, not worried about it. This guy could be a little concerned, but his QB room is still weak. Jordan Love and CJ Stroud are not guys that are going to put up points. Everything else looks all right. Incredible receiver depth. This guy we're not worried about. No receiver depth. This guy we're not all too worried about because there's not that much receiver depth. So there's really like 2 to 3 teams of competition. Oh, it went through me. God dang it. Do I need headphones on? Do I need to be hearing this out loud? Does it tell me? I did get who I wanted, though. Thank God. That's why we have the queue. Although, is Devin Neal still here? Devin Neal's gone for sure. For sure. Yeah. Another, actually, a good value here is Keenan Allen. I could have gone Keenan Allen over Chris Brazzell. And maybe I should have because I have Justin Herbert. Now, he's a free agent. No guarantee they re-sign him, but, you know. And then Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota is an actual pseudo flag plant. Like, for best ball. Obviously, for real life, I don't think he matters all that much. He doesn't matter all that much in real life. But in best ball, can this guy give you weeks of 18 to 23 consistently? Probably. He's going to run around. Like, rushing, he had 36 points last year. 36 points just from rushing. Not starting every game, mind you. Imagine if he starts every game. All right, so that's our draft we ended up with at wide receiver. We had Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashee Rice, Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, Steph Diggs, Denzel Boston, and Chris Bell. At running back, we had Saquon, DeAndre Swift, Cam Skattebo, J.K. Dobbins, Tyjae Spears, Caleb Johnson, Adam Randall. Something to be desired, but, you know, we have 3 guys who are starters in their offenses. At QB, we have Justin Herbert, Cam Ward, Marcus Mariota. I'm glad we went with 3 QBs. We definitely needed to. We need something from this guy as far as a step up in development. Justin Herbert, we got stacked with Quentin Johnston. Cam Ward, we got stacked with Tyjae Spears. Doesn't really matter. Marcus Mariota, free agent. We got a lot of free agents on this team. And at tight end, we have George Kittle, Isaiah Likely, and Dalton Schultz. So a lot of vets who allegedly know what they're doing. One coming back from injury. Has upside for Week 17. I'm not mad at this team. There's small things that I wish would be different. I probably wish I took Javonte Williams here since I didn't end up with Lamar Jackson. But that's just a small neither here nor there. I am glad I have this receiver depth. Anyway, that was the first draft that we've went through since the NFL Combine. If you have any of your guys that you think are your guys that I might be missing, because I am dumb. I'm probably not the same level of researcher that many people that you guys follow are. But if there's anybody you think I'm missing, any strategy that you guys utilize. Last year I made 2 finals. Unfortunately, did not finish in the top 10 for either of those, so that's heartbreaking. But we're on the road to winning a tourney this year. That's really the only goal, is take something down. But if you guys think I missed anything, let me know. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope to draft with you in the future.